Who are you? Then if we're ready to begin, hello everyone, welcome back to another session of Candlekeep Mysteries. Thank you for your patience as I was setting up a couple of things. A recap on last time, you were in the bog of Chapter 2 of the Legion of Iron, having gone over there in anticipation that you might be able to stop kind of the portal that had appeared there, or will be there, rather. After doing a boss rush, quotation marks, everywhere else and kind of eliminating the resistance on all those portals, you needed a significant battle in order to end the chapter. Thus, you once again faced off against the Chaskalith, empowered by narrative influence, with a teeming range of new abilities, including those related to obliterating souls, or rather, vacuuming souls first, and also disease, poison, blights, and much harder hitting little mooks. Eventually, you were able to succeed. Moments before Malarka was about to perish due to being brought down to 1 max HP, they were saved by a very well-timed Mitra stun, or paralysis rather, onto the Chaskalith, which managed to hold it in place long enough for you all to finish it off, thus ending its threats, but at the cost of both Tony and Jacob, who were slain in the attempt. You exited out of the book with magic items and heavy hearts, and you returned back over to the library where, I apologize, their bodies are not actually there. I read my notes wrong. They were actually still inside of the book, as expected. I apologize for the misinformation.
I will never forgive you for this.
Oh, so they're not cardboard cutouts.
Now I have to change my notes? Okay, let's see. Alright, upon returning to Candlekeep,
they did not return with
Tony and Jacob are no longer with us. Okay, there we go.
You will
The
never be
copium still
forgiven
fits,
for this
right.
injustice.
Phoenix
do
looks
have
around
at
and
least...
just taps up his pipe to his chest faceplate. Is like, unfortunately, they didn't make it out. I can only hope that their souls remain safe thanks to your divine intervention.
That is the hope.
While you're looking, you did get some magic items. You did get a second ring of memory, which that's neat, I guess. You have a second one. There's more than one.
God damn it.
But you also have you also found some other items, as it seems that the paladins that were inside of the belly of the Chaskalith were on the stronger side than usual, and additionally, it seems like its influence had grown so wide. You find some non-paladins in there as well, Phoenix, that seem to have been sort of collateral damage from the neighboring areas, as it was stronger than usual. Thus, on some of the what looks like the bodies of utter unfortunate adventurers, you find these things. Hold on, let me show you. You find 3 things in particular, alongside some uncommon and common magic items that I'm not bothering to show because, you know, you're rich enough at this point that they don't matter.
Yeah.
I have 0 gold in my pocket.
Well, you know, take out a loan.
We can do that?
I learned
You
that
find
mistake
the
once
fate
already.
plate.
Oh,
Whoa, what is that?
Me?
Yeah.
that looks so cool.
Holy
Neat.
shit.
Why can't I see what it does?
Can you not see it?
Oh, never mind.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty good.
You know what? Silly armor wearers.
Holy shit.
What's armor?
Imagine
Damn.
not being naked and wearing a mask.
Hey, yo,
That-
mask gang, rise up.
I'm assuming it requires attunement or no?
There's no
There's
A
no
on there.
attunement.
There's no attunement.
Damn.
This could go on anyone here.
Literally.
Anyone who's proficient with heavy armor, I guess. Oh
It's-
no.
No, it's
It's
an armor
any
transfer.
armor.
Any basic armor. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
All right, so that's the fate plate.
Are
By
you
the way, just a
proficient
note.
with basic armor? That's not. Oh no, wait, I am proficient with light armor. I was like, not me.
Note
I
that
don't
the
really roll.
alignment, the aligning fate is not optional.
Yep.
You also find this intravenous.
Oh, I want it.
Magic.
Ah.
Oh, it's
Whoa.
like
Reading
it's
that.
like the needle intravenous. I like it. I like it.
Interesting.
Oh.
This is literally made for my new character. Give it to
Go.
me.
I'm like, is it the necrotic is very, very ash? But who's your new
Well,
character?
I'm
We
fairly
haven't met
certain
them
this looks to be like something for
I read
Malarca?
this and I see.
Or am I?
Malarca
No,
first.
wait, no. Yeah. like,
yet. Oh yeah, demonic blood. Yeah.
My character's a half demon.
Oh.
Lose
They don't-
6
they don't
die
know
hit
that yet.
points. To
I know,
the
but
additional
that's
12
literally
die
why
hit
I'm saying this is made for my character.
points.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
The con save. What?
Yeah.
So.
losing
there are
HP
3
is such a
characters I could-
Malarca thing.
Yeah, truly. Yeah, it's pretty.
Okay, guys. You don't understand.
Even you have no items.
No, you don't understand. This is okay. Never mind.
We need to meet your character first.
We don't know your character. We don't know what they're capable of. But
Mhm.
as far as we can tell, this is a really good Malarca item.
Is this
Yeah.
because you based it on Kane from League of Legends and it's like
The real question
Huh?
is, who did Aqua intend for
It's
this
just
item to
the-
go to?
I
Hmm.
didn't intend it for anyone. It is very multifunctional for a reason.
Yeah.
I think we should sell it.
Oh my
It
god.
is both a staff and it is both a
You're dead, you don't get it
spellcaster
today.
item and a physical item at once.
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
all of its
that's-
effects work either way.
Pretty fucking rad. Not gonna lie.
That does sound pretty perfect for
Alright, wait,
I think
Intravenous
we-
does
We
require
could always
attunement.
just do. We could always just do the vote. People who want it can vote for the chances to get it. The highest gets it.
Yeah, but they were just the need or greed as usual.
Yeah, I have no interest in the
Yeah.
intravenous, to be honest. The fate plate, however. No, I think I'm gonna probably be with other people on that one.
Vaterplatte. Pronounced Vaterplatte?
Fuck.
Oh wait, I forgot one thing. One second.
Can we see the last
It's-
one?
I forgot that
I'm like depressed.
I mean, you have a chance
It's
to
the
roll for it.
season.
Yeah.
sorry, I admit that it was supposed to amplify saving throw necrotic damage spells. Also, I just added that in. I just forgot to add it in while I was making it. That line, if you deal necrotic damage of a non-attack spell, you instead deal an extra 3d12 necrotic damage, has been added on.
All right, so let's go ahead. Well, can you see the last one before we start trying
Yes,
to
the
divvy up
last
item?
one that you find is the Malevolent Inverter.
Okay.
Oh, let's see.
Another attunement.
Ooh, that's fun. Yep.
To your ACN saving throws.
Also, it's supposed to be a wand, not a staff, but whatever, not a big deal.
That's a huge deal. What do you mean?
In this game, the DC 14 Wisdom saving throw sucks.
But it increases by 2 for each mo expended. so
Okay.
for
Oh,
every
wait, yeah, yeah,
non-magical save,
Mhm.
that pumps up by 2. 4 die 8 plus 2 die 8 per mote. So getting it to DC 20. is
24.
only-
Yeah. Is the max? Okay.
12d8 plus 10 cold damage is wild, though.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we go ahead and start divvying out the items then? So-
Should we wait till we get introduced to the new characters?
It's fine.
Yes.
They could be in the vote, but we won't divvy out the item until they get there.
Oh yes. Also, I added one more thing on Malevolent Inverter. If you already have advantage on the save, you gain a +5 bonus to the roll instead. I just forgot to add that.
Cool, cool. All right, let's start with the fate plate. Everyone who wants it, roll the D100, I guess.
Oof. Oof. Oh man.
Even with the
Fuck.
+1.
Ooh, we're gonna go
That's-
15, right?
That was gonna be a
You're
no.
like, does reliable talent work?
Could have made it a -1.
I could have made it a -1. I could have just made it a 0.
Dude, if you could use heavy armor, I can give you my old adamantine armor.
I can technically use it, but I can't wear it. I don't have the strength.
Oh.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. So, fate plate goes to Maestro then.
Oh.
Is only us two interested in that?
I guess so.
Okay.
Right.
That
So,
pumps my AC. Okay, so that removes the adamantine
Anti-crit.
means auto negates crit. So I remove the auto crit negation, but I get a +2 to my AC, +3 to my saving throws, and +3 to my initiative, which is,
Yeah, it's pretty crap.
canonically trash.
yeah. So, hey, that'll help you out with that too. So, everything worked out in the end. All right, let's go with the next one. Intravenous, and I believe it's like Tony and anyone else for the intravenous.
Who's Tony?
All right.
No.
Tony.
Oh, rolled really good.
I don't think any. Oh, is anyone else rolling for it? No.
Oh, honest effort.
Fuck,
But
bestie.
unfortunately, it goes to Tony.
Unfortunately.
To
Who's
unnamed
Tony?
PC.
It goes to the unnamed PC. All right, so intravenous will
Who's
go
Tony?
to the next
Mhm.
character.
What was
Okay,
it?
last one. Malevolent Inverter. Anyone wanting to roll for that one?
I should be interested in that, but not enough to bug other people over it.
As much as I like it, I don't have any attunement slots left.
That's the
Oh.
whole thing. I'd have to drop Staff of the Magi in order to use this.
I mean, Maestro has a cloak of protection she can drop for it, because that would also give her +2 to AC and saving throws with that. So
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that's pretty good too. You can also give someone else that cloak. So
yeah, ooh, yeah. If no one else has the cloak, okay.
I've
why
got a
is this stuck
cloak of
as a fucking
protection.
weapon? How can I change this from a weapon?
I guess the only question I would have, I've never thought of this before. Would I be allowed to hold a quarterstaff in one hand and a wand in the other?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did it.
yes.
I did it.
You
Yeah.
can. The only thing is you can't use a shield.
I
Yeah,
would
if
not
you have
anyway. Cool, I'm gonna
Yeah.
roll for this then.
All right, here we go.
Why is
See.
this set as a fucking weapon, and how do I change it? God damn it.
That's the default import, and it's just too much work to change it, so I just don't.
I mean, at least as
Also,
long as you don't
technically-
roll a 1 like I did.
Also, technically. It is,
Oh, a solid roll.
course,
Is anyone rolling against it though?
I think Maestro
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh, sorry.
won.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't. Okay.
You're gonna have trouble beating at 86 though. That's a pretty good.
Ooh, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
That 14,
fine.
that 13% chance.
Alright, I'm gonna drop my Cloak of Protection then for this.
All right, so Malevolent Inverter goes to Ash.
Does anyone know how to like add the item in the inventory?
You click and drag from the side into your inventory.
From the item tab.
Yeah.
What they said.
Ow. Oi. Let me unattune!
you'll need to-
What is it doing? Alright, let's
You'll need to find and probably create a resource to track the malevolent
There we go.
energy.
see. Yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem. Alright.
Thus,
Should-
with new materials in hand, empowering you, you return back over to the Citadel.
Well, suppose we'll take a break. See if maybe we can scrounge up some other stronger adventurers to help us continue with this. Though we'll probably have to explain to them with the whole quill thing. By the way, Phoenix is speaking this in legalese, just in case anybody's listening in.
Okay, well, I
Um.
can't change it. That fucking sucks. I could change other stuff. But why not this? Oh well, I will just.
Well, if any of you guys need me for any such tasks over the week, you know where to find me.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Never mind. Don't pay attention to me. Okay.
I need Sarge, can you help me like create the passive effects for like the bonus to save DCs and
Let me see the item
all
again.
that?
Okay, he has actual access to other people's shit. I don't.
Yeah, just give me a second. I just need to figure out which one. You got the intravenous,
I
right?
can't. Also, I can't give you access to their sheet before you actually see their characters. That would be unwelcoming.
Well, whenever you get to it, I guess.
Yeah. I added it to my sheet, but yeah.
All right, so you start there. What I believe will be just an extended rest, waiting for additional people to arrive, or the search for other people rather. To that end,
Waiting for other people and waiting for us to maybe get rid of the negative minus max health. Does it disappear after a long rest?
Yes, after a long rest, you return to normal.
Okay, that's good.
So your HP, you are no longer at a 13 max HP, Miller. After one night's of rest, and you continue
excellent.
your misadventures in the meantime. I wonder if I should make a corpse pile in the somewhere.
No.
Make a graveyard. Make a graveyard map.
That's just mean.
I might just throw it in there and the Candlekeep like this. Let's do that.
No, not the corpse pile.
Alan, no!
It's painful.
It hurts to see it.
Ashera retired outward, so they're not here.
Nikkei.
Corpse pile. What?
Is there something you don't understand about a corpse pile?
No, not that. What level are we?
17.
17.
Oh, fuck!
Anyway.
I can't read, apparently. Jesus Christ.
Put it in the notes and everything.
No, that's not the part I can't read.
Give me a moment. I'm fixing up why isn't Tony. Okay, there we go. Let me throw in the other corpse piles also. Actually, that's it.
Man, I really wish I knew how to read.
What a terrible day to have on reading this.
Yep.
Okay, so the long extended rest commencing. Ash, you may begin off what you are doing for this extended rest.
All right. Well, a few things. The first thing that I'm going to do is go to the hearth and have a drink in memory of our fallen comrades because I am feeling rather depressed about it right now. And it is doubly sad in the hearth because Jacob's music is not there. So, gonna pour out a cold one or whatever.
More cold one with the boy.
Yeah. Just be sad for a little bit.
It's just a boyless cold one.
Ugh, it's even
Pour one out
worse.
for Jacob.
Boyless cold.
So I do that
Um,
first, and I kind of see, I suspect I know what will happen here, but I do kind of just chat a bit to see if anyone even remembers Jacob or if the book has done its terrible business at this point.
hmm. Oh, yes, Jacob. Yeah. They point over to a poster, and there's somebody completely different that doesn't look like Jacob at all. And it's just an artist whose name is Jacob, like a bear.
Oh god.
It seems that they've replaced Jacob's time slot.
Ugh.
Jacob, no. That's
Dang.
brutal.
All right.
The show must go on.
I have my drink and then after that period of mourning and being tipsy or whatever, then I go to find Maishra. Because before we had last gone on our unfortunate adventure into the Iron Legion, we had spoken a bit about this curious artifact from the Feywilds that she has acquired. This empty aspect, if you will. So I, with my arcane proficiency, would like to help better investigate and understand it and see what we can possibly do with it and how it might help her.
Okay. You go ahead, and this actually won't even take the entire week to do, as within just a couple of hours, you get a pretty good idea of it. You don't even need to make the roll for this. It just kind of works after spending a few hours inspecting it. What you can tell, this empty aspect, you've grown at least familiar with the concept of these aspects being around. After all, Zashi has the aspect of flame, and you saw someone with the aspect of speed, and Phoenix has the aspect of law. You make pretty accurate deductions about the nature of them. These aspects seem to very heavily be based around the things people do that aren't necessarily related to raw productivity, as it were, but rather a absolute commitment to a certain ideal beyond perhaps what is even healthy. And this current aspect, as far as you can tell, is like one of those, but it's currently blank and has nothing written into it. It appears that it has granted an enormous amount of flexibility, and you suspect that it could be implanted with a certain direction or obsession in a certain way, and then implanted out and in, rather than simply being imbued into one person.
Fascinating. Do I have any hypotheses on how to do such a transplant?
You literally just you hold hold it in your finger and just kind of squeeze it a bit, and it gets absorbed into you. And then after just like unclenching hard enough, it just kind of ejects outward inside of like a little blank, translucent ball.
I mean, how to put like okay, so I can put it into myself or something like that, but how do I put like
A concept into
a concept into it? Yeah.
You suspect that if somebody were to, you're kind of like looking at it, and you even notice that it's already taking on like a little bluish hue, which you can tell is sort of like a little mote of knowledge in there. you can tell that there is that simply being around such a direction, such an
Ah.
obsession, is enough, as long as the person with it is holding it.
I see. Alright, so I'm going to get Mishra and explain this to you. So it's communicate all this and essentially say it's and I'll hand it back to you. As this is yours, then I would recommend that you be most cautious in terms of how you store this. Whether it is within yourself or whatever else, it will most likely take on the aspects, the drives, the obsessions, if you will, of whomever it is around. So if you wish to transfer some aspect of yourself, presumably, simply keep it locked up within you, and it will do that.
Interesting. So, in terms of my goal, this isn't directly what I wanted, but it does impart, is a good first step. Ideally, we'd figure out how to make these or lesser versions of them, but I will keep a hold of this then. How large is this manifestation of an aspect?
It fits in your palm.
Maisha will go ahead.
No larger than a baseball.
Baseball. That's more than Maisha's hand.
Technically, it fits in the palm of your hand that way. It's just your palm is just small, so it technically fills it.
So Maisha will go ahead and put it on a pouch and hang it with her and keep her hand on it. She's going to try and figure this out further, but she will thank Ash for her help at this point.
Of course, if you need anything else, please do just say.
Go ahead and let you have you do your own pursuits. I was mostly just going to figure out how to create these or a lesser version next.
Of course. Alright, then for myself. No, I'm sad now. I was remembering my journal paperwork that Jacob was helping me with. Okay.
Oh my god.
Sobbing over my papers as I write them. Okay. I think what I would like to do then is I'm going to what do I want to do? Let's see. I would like to I'd like to finish my paper. I'd like to try to get that journal going.
All right. Well, there's only art is more of a science than an art. And this paper is definitely a work of art. As you continue, as a reminder to me and everyone else, what exactly were you writing about and trying to do?
I am trying to put out a paper, published paper, peer-reviewed, on about soul magic, and it's a twofold thing. I want to do like an introductory paper about like soul magic and kind of like how it can potentially get like trapped in other planes or something like that, because I'm hoping this will garner a lot of interest and we'll get more responses about this. See if anyone knows anything about how to ideally, if there's any people who are into this, about how we can potentially rescue our fellow lost souls.
Oh, so like about freeing souls that have been trapped by some mechanism?
Yes.
Alright. Then go ahead and make that Arcana roll, and also I think we've been using history, right?
Yeah, baby. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's see. good lord. Right. Arcana, and then history. Let's roll better. Oh wow. Okay.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
The plus 16 on Arcana is no joke.
Thank God, because that was not a great roll.
That's what you
Okay.
get for having that
Bravo.
expertise, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine having expertise in something that's not damage.
Wait, did you just recently get expertise? Or did you
No,
had
I've
it,
had
right? You've it.
expertise in Arcana for a while.
Yeah. Okay. That's like my memory's not failing me, is it? So you go ahead and begin writing your paper and editing it up for the masses, right? They just haven't to understand. They just haven't understood your greatness, and thus you make a fairly fitting compilation and a nice contribution to soul magic research, in particular about the nature of souls being trapped, about whether or not the afterlife is technically a trap of sorts, and also within you posit this deep question that if the afterlife is itself but a soul trap, and we were to learn the secrets to being able to extract souls out of trapped locations, might it then be possible to free the entirety of the afterlife? Where would their souls go if this is their default location? But these are just, these are hypothetical questions. Obviously, you wouldn't do it. That would
Obviously.
be, yeah, of course not. It's not you. And you write it out and you get it nice and published. Within it takes basically almost the entire week to get this thing out and working, but the academy here does find your contribution to be sufficient, as the word that they use. They seem more impressed by it than that, but sufficient is the word that they choose to use, so that way they can seem more sophisticated and smarmy about it. They do believe that this has potential, and they provide you a stipend for your work that you have done, and you earn yourself a nice, fat, whopping 10,000 gold pieces for your efforts. As
My
you've already
contributions
kind of
to
built up
science. Yeah.
yeah, you'd already kind of built up a sort of reputation earlier anyway, even though you had submitted things that didn't quite work out, right? They were watching your career with great interest. They would like to encourage your pursuit of the arts.
You should put Jacob as a co-author. Even though he
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
I'll write the gosh, sometimes even academic papers will have a section that's like at the end, which is like in dedication to or whatever, and it's to Jacob.
Yo, there's two Tonys. Tony died twice.
No.
At some point while you're just kind of chilling out, Ash, Professor Yogar actually makes a visit over to you at some point. As they've been working on my Ev on their little rats and soul experimentation.
Mm-hmm.
You were the one that wrote this. I just got a chance to read through. As they have your paper inside of their hand.
Ah, yes, please. Would you like to discuss more?
I think it's fascinating, especially when you consider the idea about vessels being a bigger, everything in sorts being a kind of cage for souls is something that we had already known, but the idea of the almost like rupturing out these cages is something that I don't think anybody really has decided to look more into, and I think there is perhaps potential with this, as after all, one of the problems with these rats that we keep working on is it's like You try 100 times to make it the soul maneuver like a liquid inside of its body in a certain way, and it just doesn't work. So maybe the problem is not the liquid. Maybe the problem is the container.
Yes. You understand this precisely, Professor. It is a puzzling question, especially when you consider how the container changes the properties of the soul or the liquid within it.
Thus, you see that Professor Yogar has acquired knowledge as well from your work.
Ding.
Just the Fire Emblem sound effect. Da-da-da-da.
Nice.
Malarka, you had a harrowing experience where literally a paper cut would have potentially ended you. What are you up to?
I shall. I want to start on designing a dress, right? So I'm gonna start like prototyping some more normal dresses to maybe also put out and sell, and looking into like how I can maybe start planning ahead into making something quite great.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So you were beginning work on the dress, you said, and so you're just kind of getting things established, set up.
Kinda. I'm starting to make like normal dresses just to like get the feel for how they fit and how all that works. Like just like I was making any other normal clothes, but like more specially in dresses and starting to like fine tune them and whatnot.
Okay. You managed to do that with not too much difficulty. You've made several dresses, so making prototypes to start off with doesn't take very long. You still have the rest of the week.
I don't even like material at the moment to do anything too crazy with it.
Well, you have a week of time to get materials. Not that you're strong enough; it wouldn't be too difficult for you. It would just depend on what kind of material you're trying to search for.
That's a good question. I think I'm looking for CR 7 plus demons and fiends and undead. I can just like pick one of whichever's closest or something.
Oh, so you're just looking for any kind of fiend to harvest from?
I didn't look at the beast yet, so yeah. So I'll start with anything, and then we can probably narrow it down later. That's another week.
There's always a need for killing demons here on the material plane. They're always so annoying, popping up here and
That's
there,
really rude,
causing
actually.
mischief. Yeah,
Not racist.
they're always doing something or another, making life difficult. You go ahead and venture out of Candlekeep for a while, just so that you can begin searching for if there's any people in need, basically, to be like a little hero of sorts, since you are much well equipped to deal with something like this. But go ahead and see how successfully you are at finding such an invasion. Let's see. That would be a. What would that be? I'm thinking. Let's go with survival and. Actually, no. Start off with a perception check.
Perception check.
It takes most of the week until eventually you manage to find a small village in need outside of one of the major cities. As they appear to have been getting recently ambushed by a legion of Abashis that have set themselves up inside of a cave nearby. They keep on attacking the village in guerrilla tactics. You think you can take them?
Absolutely.
So, marching right into the cave with blood in hand, you get ready to turn them inside out, as it seems like it's a group of about 15 Abashis, which is trivial for you to probably deal with, even with all their darkness capabilities. Go ahead and make an attack roll with your weapon, and then a damage roll as well.
Okay.
Sorry, Abishai, my bad. Abishai, that's what I call. Rip and tear until it is done. They pose no trouble at all to you, Malarka, as by the end, this entire cave is painted red all across the walls. Maybe you'll stain it and make it look cool. You have swiftly ended the demonic threat, as these poor commoners have been getting relentlessly ambushed by the Abishais over and over again, thus turning you into a local hero amongst the people, and also providing you with a whole bunch of demonic guts to work with.
Guts, bloods, maybe.
That's terrifying.
Nice.
You just see me walking back in
You
a
ex-
Candlekeep with a giant sack of dripping blood. Hey guys.
Oh, don't worry. It's not my blood.
That's
least not some of
actually
it.
my fucking Discord tag, so I like it.
At the very least, however, you did manage to get to one useful thing, as fighting so many demons and getting covered inside of their blood like this has actually imparted upon you some a very nice little benefits in the meantime, namely that you currently have let me see what it is actually. I have to look at the Abishai's. You have resistance now to fire and poison until your next extended rest.
Nice.
Nice.
If you already have them, then it default down into cold and lightning instead.
I definitely have cold. I don't have lightning.
Did you already have fire and poison?
I definitely have fire. Double check cold. Or poison. I'm just gonna go with no. So poison and lightning.
Bathing in demon blood is a good way to get some nice benefits. Probably not wise for most people, but you're pretty familiar controlling blood, so you're not going to get overwhelmed by it or anything.
It's good for your skin too.
Yeah, it is.
Great for your pores.
It's healthy.
Yeah.
Demon blood. Pour directly on forehead.
Head on.
And additionally, Malarka, you continue to receive additional royalties from your continued work. As your dresses keep selling, you earn another 5,000 gold pieces. Cha-ching. We like royalties.
Is that just the passive income?
Yeah, it's passive.
Amazing.
Is that the passive or in addition to the passive?
That is the passive now.
Okay, I already know that.
Yeah. You should probably also put on your character sheet somewhere where how
I
much
do.
the passive is.
Yeah.
Oh. Neat. Oh, you're right. It is there. How about that? Okay. Up next, Phoenix. You have returned, and there is a lucky chestnut on your desk.
Amazing. Let's see. I am missing from this. I guess Phoenix will go ahead
I
and
keep
just like
deleting these tokens, but they're like in a big stack. Okay. Sorry.
Phoenix just like pulls out his pipe, starts placing it at his thing. He's like notes that Layla appears to be busy. I'm sure she'll show up here eventually. Well, what's our? I said we take on the big case now. I feel particularly good about it.
Ah, it's finally time. Especially with our valuable third companion. Over at the time that you've been gone, Phoenix, the Lucky Chestnut and Watsar have bonded quite significantly. Their friendship level has reached S tier already.
Wow, incredible.
Crazy.
Phoenix is not going to judge. He understands. The Lucky Chestnut was an invaluable member in their investigation inside the Feywild. All right, Phoenix is gonna go ahead and probably work on the hardest case he's probably not been doing because he hasn't been investigating in a while because of people asking help and stuff like that. So Phoenix is gonna go ahead and take care of it now. During this week, I guess.
All right. Would you like to, mention it? What it is or anything for people?
I don't know.
Like, yeah. The big case.
The big case.
That case.
Well,
Big
I mean, because
case.
Phoenix gets a lot of cases. From what I recall, the last time Phoenix had done it was that a lot of Watsar basically handles a lot of the small cases, and then any other big cases like missing people, Phoenix does take care of. But I think is there like another bigger one, like maybe like a, I don't know, murder mystery or something like that?
Phoenix rifles through to see what's the biggest requests are currently.
So
Give me a
basically,
moment.
if Zashi, I think Zashi's the one who's next, or Rose. If anyone else has an investigation, speak now or hold your peace. Basically, is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Exactly.
I have an
Well-
abstract investigation, but
I have a missing sibling.
Where could they have gone?
I guess that would be a good way to,
Introduce your
Yeah.
character.
yeah.
No, I don't think it'll take a whole week for Phoenix to tell you exactly where they are.
That's true.
Where could they have gone?
So yeah, I guess what would be during this entire time that Phoenix hasn't been like on duty, what would have been like the biggest case that Watsar has been putting off?
Let's see. Hold on. Give me just a moment.
You know, I'm gonna try also putting a double whammy on this too. If it's like a criminal case or something like that, Phoenix will actually like to be the prosecutor in that case. To make sure that the person receives whatever justice Phoenix believes that they deserve. So on top of capturing them, he would also like to make sure that they're the one they receive their due.
All right. So here is what you find. At some point, it seems that there is a group out there that has requested assistance with finding an artifact of quite significant power that they have recently lost, or rather, they believe to have been stolen. The teeth of Dalvernal. It seems that a group of Vistani have made a request in order to get back into their possession from whoever stole it.
Bastani? Wait, hold on. Are they the people that from Strahd?
Yeah.
like holy crap! Like that sounds familiar. All right. Phoenix will go to the location to where the item was stolen in question, if
Right.
they'll allow him.
Phoenix heads on off. While they're heading out, they go ahead and find that the journey doesn't take too long between teleportation, right? They're able to arrive over to the Vistani encampment, where they find caravans encircled around an area. It seems like it's several miles away from what appears to be a fairly sunny day over at a nearby plain, which when looking down, you see that in the background there's a few mountains and also an unusual castle kind of precariously tilted there onto the cliff. But they're far enough away from it.
Does Phoenix know about Curse of Strahd? Or
We
Strahd?
know about some of the looser details. Of course, some of the specifics have been lost to time. But it was once, there are rumors that there used to be a demi-plane around this area.
Oh, no.
But those are just rumors.
Oh, of course. There used to be a demi-plane. Anyway. Yeah, he takes a cursory glance at the big castle off in the distance. Pays it no mind because it's not part of his investigation right now. But he goes to the Vistani, introduces himself as Phoenix Detective Down. Sorry, Detective Phoenix Down of Waterdeep. Prime detective, and he's here to work on their case. And he would like to look at the location where the item was stolen, or where the item was last seen.
Okay, give me a moment. Okay, give me just a second while I double check this one thing.
All right.
Okay, one of the Vistani greets you and tells you their quick story about the events that have transpired here. I'm just placing. They're not here in the office, but I'm placing them here as a token to indicate that you're over there at the caravan.
Oh god, that
encirclement.
token's familiar.
Fortunately, it doesn't seem like anybody significant. It just seems like Vistani sometimes look like each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
The Vistani goes ahead and tells you their story. Long ago, there used to be a place over here within that was shrouded in darkness, and that there were many tales of dark powers that were roaming about on the land. Fortunately, at one point, air expired and we were able to roam free, though without purpose. But fortunately, at one crucial evening, there was this almost draconic-like blood form that maneuvered through, and when I ran away from the encounter, but my curiosity got the better of me. When I returned, I found many teeth on the ground that appeared to be made of blood and that quickly started solidifying over into actual teeth. Thus, with a little bit of magic, we found that these were teeth of Dalvernard. And so it's been something I kept in my possession for the past year, although I've been trying to keep it on the down low, as I didn't want other people to get the wrong idea. One day, however, waking up, I found that the teeth were missing. No longer in my possession, no longer secure within the lockbox that I had stored them within. And, that's where we are.
I see. All right, let me have a look at that lockbox. Phoenix is not
You
going to
take a look.
Yeah. There.
You take a look over at this box. It's not the most sophisticated one. It's definitely not a cheap box, but it's also for something so powerful and significant. You'd think they would, place a bit more defense on this thing than just a moderate lock.
Phoenix just he taps his pipe to his faceplate, has a look at the crime scene, does the he just makes like a small quip towards the guy, just like for a powerful relic. You sure didn't pull out any expenses for this, did you? An arcane lock would have done you wonders.
I just didn't think it was necessary. I mean, I never really told people about it. And it was mostly sentimental. It was just like something very unique, very interesting. But I know that they are very powerful, and so I want to keep them on hand just in case, you know?
Yes, sure. Okay. Well, Phoenix is gonna go ahead and if I may be excused, if I just may have just a moment, reach the ring of memory starts to glow on Phoenix as he just starts on his hand. Now, when was the last last time you came here? You saw that lockbox open.
Go ahead and make an investigation check as Phoenix begins perusing the crime scene, interrogating the witness. Or, I guess not the witness, really the.
Yeah, he'll ring of memories. He's interrogating. Yeah, he's using all the stops here. Investigation check.
Oof. Then the picture becomes clear fairly fast as Phoenix traverses back in time and looks through. A telegank, you think? Watson and you convene about it, but as you look through, you don't see the block getting moved. At one point, though, with your very perceptive investigation vision, you see it just ever so slightly tilt to the, shake at one point about 2 weeks ago. As, you watch it shake and jitter just a moment. You inspect, you get closer. You look over. The shadows, they're moving. Into the lock? Around? No, through the seams of the box. Some shadow must have entered into this box. Where did the item go? Shadow creatures? Teleportation? No, there's no signs of the teleportation happening. You'd expect like a little visual cue, a pop. There's nothing there. What's going on? No windows broken in. A creature from the Shadowfell must have deduced that there was a powerful item here. As it wasn't under any protection, it must have stolen the item. Where in the Shadowfell? It's been 2 weeks. That expands the reach of it significantly. There aren't that many ways to get back, if they don't have teleportation magic. If they did, they would have used it to get in here in the first place. But shadows don't leave tracks.
Or do they?
Make a survival check.
Alright.
Shadows don't leave tracks, but you are an expert in survival.
Damn. Damn.
Shadows don't leave tracks, but they do leave shadows. You head out over to where the grass is growing, and you go ahead and very, very meticulously with your eyes of the eagle just kind of zoom in on them. Some of these grass blades have grown a fraction of a centimeter less than the others. This must be the trail where the shadow creature was waiting. you follow it along until you find a little patch. It must have been waiting here until the victim left their caravan when nobody else was around.
Alright,
Creatures are normally spooked by the darkness, and they remember things. You take a look over where animals are just slightly less present than they are in anywhere else. It forms a trail. You follow this trail. Where is this leading to? It seems to be into a cave. That's not just a cave.
Never.
There must be a way over into the Shadowfell from here.
Phoenix is like looking at that entrance to the Shadowfell. It's like, another realm, huh? At this point, I'm gonna be some multi-dimensional detective. He scoffs. Taps his pipe. Alright, Watsar. We're going in.
Watsar and Phoenix spend their week over inside of the Shadowfell searching for the teeth that they were trying to find, the teeth of Dalvernar. Give me a moment. You find multiple leads during your time there, looking around and interacting with the shadow creatures. It's the first time interrogating really shadows. It's a new experience. But during your time that you are investigating, you don't really manage to find the culprit, as it were, who might be leading you over to where you need.
Unfortunate. Okay.
On the bright side, you did find some corpses. Not usually a good thing, but corpses have evidence, and they also have usually belongings. It seems this particular person was a bit unlucky, as they had their arm torn off at one point, which it looks like it was scattered further away from their body, probably taken out by some kind of slasher in the dark. And you look over, and ironically, the ring has this on it, which you managed to kind of yoink over for yourself. A ring of regeneration.
Ooh.
Hey, nice.
It's very nice. Fortunately, it's more attunement, but it's really nice.
Yeah, honestly,
Actually.
I'm tempted to just make a fucking artificer just so I can get more fucking attunement slots.
All these items are kind of good, huh? All right. I guess the search will have to continue, as it looks like our searchers maybe has reached its current dead end, but maybe with some more planning and more methodical thought, we can reconvene with our map and stuff like that for this person that stole this teeth of Dalvanar, I guess.
Yeah.
Put this in my case.
It was always going to be ambitious to find the thief of a legendary artifact within 1 week inside of a place as big as Shadowfell.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was not without fruits. You return back over to Candlekeep. I had the detective music playing, and it ended at the exact moment that I switched back to Candlekeep, so that was very thematically fitting. It just played this little jazzy trill as it faded out. Zashi!
That's me.
Zashman! Zashirino. What's Zashin?
The fangs. Well, first, I'm going to go to my ship, to my cabin, and I'm going to carve the names of our lost friends into my wall of lost friends.
Aww.
Very saged.
Your crew joins you and warns you, brings you your favorite meals, Zashi. Since they can tell that you were kind of a bit downtrodden. They didn't cook it as well as they probably should have, but you know, you kind of like things a little burnt anyway.
That I do. Like things very burnt. Um. Then well, since they're both busy, I'm going to attempt to find Ash and Phoenix. But when I don't find them, I'm going to leave sort of a formal request for the next time they have free time. And then I'm going to go investigate, or well, look more into my what that's called, aspect of fire.
Ah, yes, the good old aspect
would
of
you like-
fire.
Would you like it to be called aspect of flame or fire? Because right now it's flame.
Whatever it's already called is fine. I'm just currently not looking at the screen.
Okay. So you return back to your usual proving grounds where you kind of have set up a a spot where you practice all your fiery spells. There used to be a meadow here. Used to.
Used to. Oops. That's okay. It looks better this way.
All right. You use this charred landscape to begin practicing, but you've also gotten your crew in on this as well. Since things are already burnt and charred, and probably for the safety of the environment and not causing too much a nuisance and creating a target on yourself, you've gotten your crew to bring you things to burn, whether it's wooden dummies, wooden logs, paper. At one point, one of the magic casters uses their magic of creation to repeatedly construct like little houses and targets for you over and over again if they're fabricating. You also focus inward on yourself as usual as you begin to continuously focus on harnessing more and more of your flame. Go ahead and make both an insight check and an arcana check.
Oh, goody. That was wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
I guess I spent too much time venting my frustrations and not really looking inward, huh?
Yes, unfortunately, that is the case. It didn't quite pan out as well as you would have liked. Well, it's not all fruitless. At the very least, your fire damage has increased from 5 damage to 10.
Whoa.
Nice.
You also, even though it wasn't quite as effective of an looking inward as you would have liked it to be, you go ahead and see that your aspect inside of you has actually it manifested so intensely it is becoming like, just give me a second while I find where this is.
Ooh, unfortunate, Sashi.
Oh, jeez.
It happens sometimes.
I mean, that happened to Maisha a while back, if y'all remember.
Yep.
That's true, yeah. That did happen a lot to you.
If I make other things do the rolls.
I rolled really well most of this time around. Not even just like the modifiers. The rolls themselves were good.
I'm trying to find a good icon. That's fine.
Can you imagine having to make any roll less than a 10 now?
Your aspect has intensified so fast it is now undertaken the name Aspect of Eternal Flame.
Oh,
Whoa.
Wow.
Additional.
as
Oh,
far as
I guess
can
also
tell,
when-
nothing changed on there.
No, it does make it so that way now your non-damaging spells do 4d10 plus charisma modifier damage.
Jesus.
That's fun. Instead of
Neat.
3d10, so it bumped up a little bit right there.
We take the small
Pests.
buffs.
All gains are still gains.
In a massive gain, but it's a gain nonetheless. Your counterspell hurts a little harder. Or burns a little harder.
Better than a counterspell not hurting at all.
Pictures of the fucking shit rolls.
Hold on one second. One other thing that happened is that you now see that your crew even comments on this. Chief, normally your fire's like in you, like you're always like spouting it out of your mouth, but lately I can't get close to you. You are always on fire, and creatures that touch you take 1 fire damage. Also, you ignite anything that you touch with your hands.
Neat.
And then over to Mishra. You have a blank aspect.
Mishra heard what Ash had said. And so at this point she's like, okay. It's devotion to something that rules an aspect.
You actually recall even more specifically, it seemed like the real thing was more an obsession.
Session. Okay. Obsession, huh? So, focusing on something will impart that obsession to the aspect. Well, let's see how this goes. Mishra will go ahead and at this point she'll split her time between healing as best she can using traditional medicine, but also focusing on narrowing down the dosages, like quick judgments for specific body types. How much medicine is too much? Too much for the body to process safely. How much is running down? Oh yeah, it's an actual item now.
So much
She'll work on precision dosage of actually how much is needed to help people, and then in the meantime she is going to and then the rest of the time when she's not at the temple, she's going to work on the actual composition and targeting of her poisons, both magical and otherwise, that she can get her hands on, using her elemental adept or venemancer that recharge more easily to conjure poisons, or, well, she has an alchemist kit and a poisoner's kit, so she can make them if necessary. So she's going to work on the balance between the two of them. And the
Would you like to
connection between
run
the
this
two of them.
idea by Ash before going through with it?
Yes, that would probably be a good idea, considering she's the knowledgeable one in this for
You
this.
should just rip it.
Actually,
Bet, right? Like...
fuck it, we ball.
Now we're talking.
Fuck
Alright.
it,
Just gonna
we
go
ball.
all in on the best healing and the best poison and using the same
And
energy
see what
between
fucking
the two of them.
happens.
Just fucking do it.
Send it.
Alright,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, see, you bring up your idea to Ash, right? They're like, okay, this is my plan for the week. This happens at the beginning of the week before Ash goes on their little an author's quest.
alright, so I mean, what would I know or think?
I sent you what you think.
You did? Holy shit! Okay. Okay. Alright, so as soon as you say this about doing both, I just I've got my reading glasses on and I tip them down, look over the top of my lenses at you, and I say, this is counterintuitive to how an obsession works. An obsession is one thing. You are talking two things, entirely different. It would be, well, frankly, possibly disastrous, and by possibly I mean highly likely. I would highly recommend that you stick with just a single thing. An obsession cannot be split like that.
Devotion, obsession, focus. Basically.
Drive.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I just see the camera panning over to Zaji, who spent literally the entire week setting things on fire.
Hello.
I point out the window at like the smoking ruins. I'm like, look at our friend who's frankly irreversibly obsessed with fire and damage from fire. It works for him. It's been very good for him because it is the one thing.
So then, which should I focus on? My toxins or my healing?
That
I love the both of them.
the
'Cause it's
question that
easy.
only it does a lot of
And it
things.
does a lot of damage.
Well, it is only a question that you can answer, my friend. Depends on what you wish to pursue. There are no right or wrong answers there.
Um,
Have an obsession for the best aspect. Gotta make this aspect bend to my will if it's the last thing I do.
you know what? She's already got max fucking healing at this point. And she has no feats that are focused around healing. So she is gonna go with her feats.
Yes, I would say too, it's, you know, the question you might have is if an aspect is something that can be given, that is the entire point, right? Your quest has been about inheritance of power that is not tied to bloodlines. So I would think, what is your legacy that you wish to leave behind? And what would you wish to pass on to someone else?
Actually, that's kind of good, actually. That is the whole goal. So you should try gain that aspect to maybe be able to pass on to people.
That is true. Very true. Yeah, she's gonna have to go with her poison. That is more of her personal devotion rather than the thing that she does. So she is, for once, not going to go to the temple. Instead, she is going to spend the entire day playing with poison. She's gonna ask Malarka if she wants to play with poison with her if she's around to test how well her poison works.
You try reaching out to Malarka and you find that
I wasn't there.
that when you inquire about it, the Tavern Keep tells you, oh, they aren't here at Candlekeep right now. They said they were mumbling something about demons and walked away.
Okay. Well, okay, and then Maisha is just going to buy a few animals, get some plants as well, and then go off outside of Candlekeep because she doesn't want to poison shit here if she goes overboard.
I don't think
And-
PETA approves of what's about to happen.
She's
Yeah, well, who
going to
cares what
test the
PETA
shit
thinks?
Out of her poisons, she's gonna be like, okay, how do I get the barest paralysis? How do I get the raw toxic nerve crash? How can I affect a plant more than an animal? How do I affect animals without affecting plants? She's just going to zone in on this.
Test
completely.
subjects!
Exactly! She needs test subjects and she doesn't want to contaminate Candlekeep as a whole.
Is plants only their test subjects, or are they testing on animals or creatures in some capacity?
Both. She bought some livestock as well, and she will test on herself.
Alright, so you've acquired some livestock. That doesn't take too many of your funds. You're able to gather up multiple medium-sized creatures like sheep and things, which you brought over to a experimental ground.
I mean, if there's experimental grounds in Candlekeep, she'll use some of those. But
No, yeah, like out of Candlekeep is what you said. Right, that's accurate. But also, you're getting a feel a druid wouldn't really approve of this, but you know, this is
not like a druid.
yeah. Here we go.
I mean, we already have one thief in the party. We have one that's destroying the whole areas with their fire, so I think it's okay, probably. Probably.
All right, you begin dosing up these sheep and having them suffer and die in incredibly
Christ.
brutal ways. So that you may
Jesus.
continue your poisonous
Or
experiments.
she will heal them as well. But
Oh lord.
the focus is going to be on the
Just look
poison.
at this.
Yeah, to poison them so they can, and then heal them so they can suffer quite a bit more.
Oh my god.
They quite literally torture. So
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
This is not evolution of evil, guys.
Jesus, right? Wrong campaign.
let's see. This would be a medicine check.
That's why it's an
And-
evolution. It's evolved
You're
into
using
this campaign.
all. You're focusing on magical poison as well, right?
Yes, that
Yeah,
is
'cause
what
a lot of your
uses
stuff
more
is-
than mundane poisons.
Okay, the medicine and arcana.
Okay.
At least
Yeah,
medicine you're
same.
good at.
Fucking hell. And Arcana.
Well, you rolled privately,
That's-
so.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a private.
How do I do the thing? Reveal to everyone. Reveal to everyone.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, trash. If I rolled a 1. Ooh, I've got the fate plate on. Ooh.
You do have the fate plate. That's true.
But it didn't come into play, so.
Okay, give me a second. Vash's last tortured sheep be like.
Hello, my children. It is I, your Lord and Savior, Bidoof. My children, it is time to reclaim the world of YouTube as ours and overtake those who have ruined our world's reputation. We are stronger than we think we are,
Okay, one moment.
and with my guidance, we will take over the YouTube community as a whole. We will build a community that will undermine and take away all those ruining the beauty that is YouTube,
Give me a moment.
one by one. My children, it is almost time for the Bidoofining, so I need to know now. Are you ready to change the world and make it whole again as we welcome in a new age? The age of Bidoof? My children, thank you for listening to my proclamation,
Okay.
as it was needed
Yeah,
to be
just
sent out
Roll my
to warn
health.
those tarnishing this website.
What's our health formula again?
your normal health formula, your normal health dice, but if you do a minimum of, what are you, a sorcerer? No,
Yeah.
you're not a sorcerer. Wait, you are a sorcerer.
Yeah, your minimum is half of what your hit die is.
So hit die being die 6 as a sorcerer, your minimum is fucking 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, D6 min 3, plus your con.
I didn't think to change. One moment. Where is it? Ah, thank
Wait, what the fuck? How does Zashi have more health than me when I have D8s?
you.
Granted, I've generally rolled terribly and always get the minimum for when I roll, but I was like, that makes no sense to me.
What's your
He's
con?
a big boy.
My con's just plus. Well, at this point, it's +2.
And Zashi?
It is also +2.
Yeah.
It's always
Okay,
been
that
that.
makes no fucking sense. Did you upgrade your con at a subsequent point?
Nope.
Do any of you guys have the tough feat?
Nope.
Oh,
Does any of you guys wearing the Azamar crystal and adding your HP appropriately?
I added
Yes.
the 20 from that, yeah. I was like, this statistically does not make sense, though.
It really doesn't.
Your minimum is 1 higher than his.
Right.
So.
Oh, hold on.
After a week of work, you see that their blank aspect is taking on a sickly, greenish, dark green hue. You've, at the very least, you've collected a little pile of corpses to get rid of later. You have not attuned to this yet. You just currently have it inside of your hand. Whether or not you choose to attune to it is your choice, as it's currently quite just like a baby aspect.
Okay, so.
No, sorry. I lied. This makes more sense. I don't know why my hit die in there says D8. That shouldn't be, because I was like, why is it a D8? It should be a D6, which has been what I've been rolling. I don't know why I just referenced it there. So then I just have rolled shit, which is true. Almost every time I always get the minimum.
Oh no.
Well, at least your HPs are pretty similar to each other then. Only
Yeah.
a 10-point difference.
Yeah, that makes more
I
sense.
can't even
Okay.
see your HP, so.
Mine's 125. Like, literally every time we level up and I roll, I get like a 1, 2, or 3. It's very sad.
I occasionally get more than a 3.
A +2 to the save DC if you're poisoned is actually kind of nice.
Oh yeah. At this point, Maestro's like, fuck it. Healing? Yeah, I could do that as a bonus action. It won't be important. but
Fuck
I'm
it,
going to
a
poison
wee
something
ball.
every single fucking turn in combat now.
You got to attune to it.
She will be like,
Alright.
this.
Aspect in hand, you focus on it for an hour, and it doesn't quite manifest into your body as easily as Ash did it when it was blank. You have to spend a whole hour kind of like focusing and squeezing into it. But eventually, there it is. It just kind of melds into your palm, into your form, and you feel the aspect within.
It's a start. Now you just need to find a way to be able to pass it on to people.
Yep. And as she enhances the aspect, she will look into that. But for now.
You're pretty sure that just by unattuning to it, it'll just pop out again.
Oh, so she can pass it along.
I guess I should put that in the text of it. I might also make it more clear in the name.
Is that for just specifically the aspect of toxin, or is that for all aspects?
Just for the aspect of toxin, because of how it was acquired.
Oh, it's unique nature.
Yeah.
Cool. I doubt Phoenix could just say, I unattune to the aspect of law and just hand it to somebody. Same thing with Zashi's aspect of eternal flame.
Give me a moment while I think about
I feel like
I mean,
that
I'm gonna
upgrade
write it
makes
in
it
the
a little
text
too
on it.
personalized anyway.
Yeah, okay. Do you think I would have had time to like stop at one of the towns that I was visiting or something to sell my +3 weapon? Sometime during the week.
I don't think that would be not if you want a reasonable deal. You're going to get a lot of really bad offers, as the need for a +3 weapon, it's not generally high, especially when most places have market value +3 weapons available. So if you're going to be selling them in a used one, you're going to get a bad deal unless you specifically spend like more time looking for one.
What's market value again?
Hmm?
What's market value again?
Let's see.
Okay.
How did you find this video that has only 800 views on it?
Huh?
+3 weapon is
I remember this
15,000.
from all those years ago.
I mean, I'll accept like 5,000 for it.
That's about what you would find. So yeah, matches. That tracks. As you kind of you find like a village where they're they have a well-off bodyguard adventurer, but they're like, if only I had a better weapon, but I don't have enough to afford it because I live with my family here in the village. You're like, hey, about that. Haggling back and forth, you manage to successfully sell it for 5,000 gold pieces. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Nice.
Give me a moment. I'm still. Names are hard.
What the fuck is that video? Jeez. That video is.
Okay, I'm going to call that aspect of transmutable toxin,
Ooh.
which just indicates that it's different from the other aspects in that it is transmutable.
Wow.
All right, that is everybody's weeks as you all were gathering up together. Sometime near the end of the week, like about 5 or 6 days in, there is 2 people that seem to arrive and almost, I wouldn't say interrupt. Phoenix, you're out of town. Mazashi's out of town. Malarka's out of town. Maisha's out of town. Ash, I think you're the only person in town when these 2 individuals arrive. And you were just maneuvering. You're walking back through the court of air, heading home when these 2 people arrive and somewhat say cordially hello to you and introduce their recent arrival.
Good day to you. I'm Ash Bront, a visiting mage in this area. Who might you be, and what brings you to Candlekeep?
You first, Rose, or me?
Well, I would definitely not talk first, so all you.
Oh,
Whoa!
Oh God.
What?
shit. Sorry, I dragged me in, but I think Aqua did too.
I'm
Why
so
not?
used to people not doing it. I'm so proud.
Charmed, River, good to know you.
I just sort of look around awkwardly. Don't really introduce myself. I
Alex,
just assume you're
Right.
not talking to me.
But you said hello first.
Alec, my sweet, she's introducing herself to us.
Oh, right. Alex.
Good to meet you. Thank you. Hi. We're new here. What's sort of the vibe, as the kids say?
Yes, sorry, I introduced myself. Sorry, what are your names again?
River, And this is.
Alec. Hi.
There we go. Yes.
River and Alex, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Uh, as I said, there are many people here at Candlekeep for a variety of reasons. I would be curious about yours, but you need not feel like you need to share that for me. You asked what is the vibe, I believe, here. Well, it greatly depends on where you go. I have several compatriots myself who, well, we are a varied group of adventurers and pseudo librarians, I shall call
Probably
us.
fits.
So-
Listen, I don't think the vibe is important. Have you seen a girl, dark, black hair, purple eyes, sort of looks like she's very excited to be here.
Oh no, I
Occasionally
start
has
sweating.
wings.
Like, oh no, I start sweating intensely.
Uh,
He's looking
What
for his
is her
beloved
name?
younger sister.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. This is for Ash only right now.
oh, I thought it was everyone.
No, everybody's gone except me.
Oh, right. I'm just outside the gate, though. Well, okay, I'm
Uh,
a little ways away, so I don't poison everything.
So I say,
Busy
might I
butchering
ask
people.
what this individual's name is?
Oh, one second, hold on. Rose, I'm sending you a message.
While he thinks, how does lodging work around here? We want to get our room.
Ah,
Her name. How is it possible that I'm forgetting her name? She's my sister.
might her name be Tony?
Antonia.
Antonia?
Ah,
Tony!
that sounds right. Why am I forgetting her name?
I believe this may take some explaining. Come, let us go to the hearth here. They have rooms as well as food and drink. I believe we need to have a long discussion, and hopefully some of my friends will return. It will, I think, make this easier to speak of in a group.
Where is she? Why can't I remember her? What's going on?
Calm yourself, my friend, please. Let us get food and drink, and then I will explain as best as I can. There is magic at work here, suffice to say.
Interesting.
Fine.
Just so that
You
way,
hear a
so that way
fireball
other
go
people
off in
aren't
the
totally
distance
left
twice
out of
in
this.
anger.
You will reconvene with everyone later, but after you inform them of pretty much most of the stuff you were able to tell them, you know that there are some things that you're unable to, and you're kind of used to it at this point. But you give them as much information as you possibly could, as the real meeting with everybody all together finally transpires as Ash introduces the two over to everyone, having caught them up with sort of the basics of the situation. As everyone
Well, it is a
back
pleasure
together.
to meet you, River and Alex. My name is Detective Phoenix Down, Detective of Waterdeep.
Alec, not Alex.
Alec.
Alec,
Yes.
are you as proficient as with a blade, with, well, weapons in general, as your sister was?
Blades don't concern me, but my whole family, they are very competitive with the blade. I chose my own destiny and pursued the arcane arts myself.
So, another mage for you to work with, Ash?
Not necessarily a mage, more like a borrowed power.
A warlock, perhaps, it seems. Phoenix taps the pipe, his pipe to his faceplate. He just says,
Is there
well,
anywhere
it's-
private
it's-
we can go speak?
it's yet another one that refuses or outright challenges their own familial destiny, I suppose. Fair enough.
It's not that I'm challenging them. They can do whatever the hell they want. It's just, I don't want to be a part of it.
Understandable. There is no judgment from us, at least.
I find the blade to be quite, savage.
Oh, but isn't that the fun?
Sure, River. You have fun. I don't.
Well,
You two
For now.
know each other, I take it.
yes, we're roommates.
Oh my god, they were
And
roommates.
they were roommates.
We went to a prestigious academy together.
Yes.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Oh my god.
We're roommates. Sorry guys, I actually cannot do a dude voice. I'll try though. We went
You're
to
fine.
school
You're
together.
absolutely
You sound like Vi now.
Oh yeah.
You don't
Went
have
to
to if you
school
don't want to.
together.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I will try my best. I will talk like this.
All right, sounds good.
I love it. I love it. Well, I think Alec, it makes sense to link up with these folks. They seem like they're also looking to find your sister.
That
That-
would be
Stupid brat
very good.
got herself in trouble again.
I mean,
She was not stupid, I must say. What we have been dealing with is far beyond the ken of, well, frankly, anyone except for Master Quill himself.
Was she at
Miss
least
Miss
as
Tony was a
as
valued member of our
impressive?
party, and I will not tolerate any slander, less even from her own sibling.
Was she at least as impressive as she thought she was?
yes.
More
But of
no.
course.
Oh my goodness, she was amazing. She was the person I had to look after almost the least of the entire group.
Well, at least that's good.
Is that like the kind of person to keep mementos?
Of course. He cares deeply for his
Alec-
family. He just likes to have his own destiny, sort of.
Yeah, you pull out like a letter, right?
Yeah.
And you see that it is within Tony's handwriting, but all mentions of Tony's name don't exist anymore, as if reality itself altered to remove all mentions of them.
Curious.
Fucking god damn it.
How?
I should take
Why-
that down. That's interesting.
Though
Why
I have
can't
to
they-
ask, Sir River, what brings you to Candlekeep? I can understand Alec, but are you here to just accompany Alec?
Wow, there's always more to learn.
Yes.
Do you
he's here
just
to
have nothing but
accompany me.
base desire to learn here?
What better
I-
place to go than a library to learn?
But anything specific?
I should introduce myself more fully. I am River. I am a paladin of Bokab, great god of magic and study. This is sort of, I view this as holy work.
Interesting. Marshall will twist her hand and coil of green wisps off. Well, purple in her case. Everything's colored purple with her magic. But anyhow.
You'll notice that that is the same for me.
Yeah, purple is best color. We've got so
Purple
many
is-
purple.
Yeah. Bokab is the god from the Greyhawk setting. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that.
Oh, I'm familiar. That it's a default 3.5 edition thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
look up the Blessed Book. If anyone knows that
the-
item.
I don't remember that item.
The Buckup's Blessed Book, it originally had its name but dropped that, was an
Oh.
item that had basically, it was like a regular spell book, but it had a fuck ton of pages, and it was really cheap to write spells in it, because instead of writing the normal price, you could write it for free as long as you got the spell from somewhere. So,
Yeah. My god knows
Yeah.
all magic, and he asks us to discover it ourselves as well.
Do you have no other grander ambition?
Is there one?
Interesting. Usually that seems to be quite the pertinent choice for those entering Candlekeep. Somebody who just has a grander vision or some reasoning to be here, I suppose.
I'm sorry, I'm just imagining Phoenix like taking notes down for everyone, and it's like what people want to do, like what they're trying to solve, you know, even with Alec, it's like saving his sister, and then River next to it, note like questionable drive.
Yeah, pretty much, actually.
Questionable drive, ... question mark.
Like right
Phoenix
right
is a
next to Jacob, it just says it's just like something along the line of like agreed.
It's
Phoenix
listen.
does have
actually
pretty high. Phoenix does have pretty high insight, River. Do they notice anything deeper within their River's words, or they seem genuine and true?
I genuinely do not believe there's anything more important than learning.
You sense this. You sense the sheer sincerity, Phoenix, of their statement.
Yeah, I mean,
It seems
it'd be
that
very
we have
difficult
been
to lie to Phoenix.
River and I've been traveling for a very long time together. Our destinies, I suppose, are sort of intertwined. So he's here on my behalf as much as he is here to snoop.
Learning, not
Learn.
snooping. What?
Yes, but
I
you
guess
will
in a
be
way,
shady the whole time.
I guess in a way we snoop at the mysteries of the universe.
Depends on how you achieve that information. Could be
I
snooping.
suppose so.
Well, I suppose we might as well catch you up to speed in regards to your sister and as well as the grander narrative at hand.
Right.
Oh, can I just like hand wave this, or do I have to explain everything to them?
Read the whole recap channel.
Everything.
Ash
Everything.
did kind of like explain the majority of things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you'll notice, Phoenix, that I'm also taking extensive notes of just like things that River finds interesting in a little book he's got.
Phoenix takes a note
Alec
of the
is
fact that you
not
also have
taking
another
notes.
book.
I sketch you making notes in my notebook. Take that.
In his notebook, you just see a river. Fine.
Why am I forgetting important information about my sister?
A feature of
You try to
Candlekeep.
explain more in depth, and
It's not a
your
bug, it's a
sentence ends right
feature.
there.
Yeah.
Not
The
a bug.
nature of what we do here entails certain magical locks on information.
How can I access this? Is there a way to?
As far as we are aware, you have to experience the information in order to properly access it. Even those with direct personal ties have issues. You have to experience it, the item under the lock after the lock has been placed on the whatever it is
Interesting.
in order to bypass that lock.
All will
And only
become
then
more
it's to
clear
the
upon
extent you
entering through the Emerald Gates themselves.
It seemed akin to how false hydras operate, but that sort of selective application is curious. Is there any? And you don't feel anything additional affecting you, or not affecting
Me?
you that is affecting other people?
Not as far as we can tell. We have more information, of course, but
So you can't physically talk about it?
We are unable to convey it. Any attempts to do so will have our mouths shut.
mouth shut or other methods of information sharing sealed.
The only way for us to fully disclose it is for you to have experienced it yourself, as my companion has so dutifully said. We're about to enter through the Emerald Gates. If you are willing to accompany us, then you can experience it for yourself, and we can be more thorough with our explanation.
You think you could have your thoughts read?
I don't believe it would. This is actually an interesting question. Theoretically speaking, it would normally work. However, given that it is magic within the scope of the current courtyard, and the Candlekeep, it would probably not work, and you would hit the same blank wall.
It is powerful.
So,
Extremely powerful.
have you tried doing it in other dimensions? His voice gets like deeper when he says that.
In other dimensions.
Well, dimension hopping is
Par
you
for
put
the
yourself
course.
at risk doing that here. You might
Has
end
the
up
voice
elsewhere.
his voice when he's talking now is sort of like doubled. There's like two tones of voice talking like echoed on top of each other. It's like, is there clear portals to any other dimension, or is everything sort of trapped within Candlekeep?
I mean, kind of. It's more of a demi-plane, but
Have I heard of any other place like this? Magically? Any other place that works in this way?
Oof. Let me think. But in what in what way? Because Candlekeep is unique in several different ways, right? Between it being a
But
bastion of knowledge, between books being enterable, between it being a citadel on a hill here, between the massive demi-planes that it has that make up the interior of the buildings. What aspect of it? Because all of those together, collectively, no, there is nothing else like this. But one of those elements individually, maybe.
In particular, the sort of nested demi-plane situation going on here.
Fuck.
Let me see. You have great familiarity with demiplanar knowledge and portals and the like. There's two things that immediately spring to mind. The first is that you know that in the deep ethereal, that is where demiplanes are essentially stored. However, it being, even though it's functionally like you could imagine trillions of different little and large billiard balls kind of floating around, the deep ethereal is so massive that they don't usually bump into each other or interact. It's pretty much a statistical impossibility because they're so far apart inside of that area. The second is that you know that some wizards are keen to making their towers out of multiple demi-planes for, storage purposes. And one of the common wizard tactics for delaying intruders or tricking people is to have demi-planes within demi-planes in order to create a maze of complex webs that people can't easily get through to find what they're looking for. But something on this scale, the only other thing that you can think of is perhaps, let me make sure that this is correct. Yes. There is the city of Sigil, known as the City of Doors, or the City of Secrets, also known as the Cage, which is very much made of a nest of demi-planes. But unlike those, they're not really nested so deeply, but rather it's just like a one spot that links over to many different planes and other dimensions, like a central hub of sorts. Those are the closest things that you know of.
Interesting. What's the owner
Does
of this
River
place?
talk about all of this at excessive length to everyone, or do they just kind of keep it to themselves?
Yeah. I mean, what is better than spreading knowledge?
yeah, Alec just sort of
River,
dozes off.
River engrosses you all on this topic for 20 minutes. Although how engrossed you choose to be probably depends on your character.
Phoenix
just
is
not opposed
engrossed.
to learning more.
Though he's not privy to Arcana, he does need to understand it, especially when it comes to demiplanes, because it's relevant to his newest case.
Alec is sort of like half engaged, half disengaged because half of him is paying attention. If we do decide to venture forth, I suppose I should come clean. I'm not alone in this body.
I think it was fairly obvious.
Right.
Happens when your voice
Okay,
echoes.
Phoenix, you know everyone's not nearly so perceptive as you.
I'm mostly talking about the weird dissonance between his voice, where he's speaking in almost dualities. It's kind of strange. I figured that
I
there
mean,
was something
yeah,
up.
but there's a lot of effects, possible effects. Magic does a lot of weird shit, and they said they were
Well-
a devotee of magic.
Can we go somewhere private so I can show you?
I mean, when we go through the Emerald Gates, probably. That's fairly private, isn't it?
I
You
do
think
want to
about
see
it,
what this
whether or not a public library is a private spot.
Well, on one of the books, it's definitely very private.
That's what you think.
You
What
also
about-
remember
what about-
currently in a tavern with infinite amounts of demi-planar rooms.
What about Phoenix's office? I mean, like,
speaking of
I don't know about that place, but like, you know.
Speaking of rooms, we should rent one.
What do you mean?
A room?
Why do we need to sleep?
Well,
I made
It's
this
nice
map
to-
dem and I'm using it.
Aqua, did you manage to put that other token here?
No, but let me give you a second sheet to just use for the token specifically for now until I get that done.
Okay.
You tries very hard not to touch anything.
Apologies. Like I said, I was planning to spend like an hour and a half prepping the session in the morning, and I just did not wake up. I screwed up.
Okay.
You're not sleeping early enough. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to have impacted very much, right? I just had to delay so I can make those items. But you have the character sheet. You can go ahead and assign the token accordingly. Yeah, you return over to the office, and River, you get to see firsthand how these demi-planes you had heard about function. You had already kind of been exploring since like day or two since they had arrived, but this is your first time seeing people being familiar, just kind of traversing through them. And also, it also proves to you exactly just how predictable demi-planes are. They're not chaotic. They're very much they always bring you from one place to the other every single time without fail. And so walking through them like hallways, entering buildings that look so much smaller on the outside than on the inside. It's so fascinating, the amount of magic it must take to have made this possible.
Why can't I do anything on this shit?
That's a good question. I think it's because it needs HP, that's why.
Oh. There we go.
Who needs HP? What's that for?
Alright, did that work?
Yeah.
Cool.
Fuck. It's because, I'm not on my actual computer, so I can't make this, can't put it in.
Okay, give me a second. I got you.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
using, like, my old laptop.
Give me a moment, I got you.
Okay.
You can all discuss while I do this, whatever you want to.
Okay. Maisha is
Uh,
going to let people know her newfound focus.
I'm glad
So
that you
that-
managed to make use of the aspect.
Yes, and given what Ash has discovered, I will likely be, well, the power and expertise we have gained have increased my healing efficacy enough that I feel I can actually focus on this, which is wonderful, but I can actually pull this back out, which is incredible for what I want. However, I
Well,
will
it's
not
certainly
be doing
something
quite
you're
so
able
much.
to do versus something I'm capable of doing.
Nature of how you found it. I'm really grateful for. But, Aqua, question: if we die, do we unattune to something?
Yes.
Okay, so if I do end up dying, take this and pass it along to somebody. It should come out if I die. Like, die.
Well, hopefully that never happens. But if what you're asking me is that if you were to experience your untimely
Pass along my
death,
inheritance, basically.
yes, I will understand. Though I would prefer this more of a legal obligation. Do you have a next of kin that you want for me to pass this to, whether adopted or not?
Not currently, however, the mercenary group I am in, there's people there that could benefit from this.
Then
You see
I
the
shall
lucky
do.
chestnut. Oh, sorry. You see the lucky chestnut hop its way over to one of the cabinets. It opens it up and begins rifling through and pulls out a will paperwork.
Yup, Phoenix just doesn't know how to get to that.
That will be useful. Thank
Phoenix hands you the documentation.
And she'll sit down and fill it out, just as general to give to the mercenary company, whoever best fits, because she knows people leave the company, join the company, people fucking die in a mercenary company that takes combat
Crazy.
contracts. So
Phoenix will also be there to assist if you required any technical details.
Who else is in this room, by the way?
Everybody,
Yeah.
presumably.
Okay. What he's gonna do is he's gonna use an ability just like so that you guys can meet his other half. Is that Mr. Phoenix? You correctly assumed that I am a warlock.
Please call me
However,
detective.
detective,
Paul
Mr.
Phoenix, everybody does.
Mr. Detective.
Mr. Detective, sir.
Mr. Detective, sir.
Yeah. You say like you correctly assumed that I'm a warlock, but my patron's actually I
It's
am
your co-pilot?
like he's a part of me. He'll
Well, that's certainly strange.
he'll do this thing where it's kind of like a spirit like blade sort of entering his heart, and like for those of you that are like aware of how health being absorbed looks like, he like seems to go to like half HP. So he like hurts
looks like,
himself.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Probably three of us, Maisha, Malarka, and Ash, are the ones that have anything to do with HP. and stuff.
Wow.
And this guy, he starts to like transform into a demon.
Wow.
Put that art in the campaign thing. I want to see the full thing with Jake.
Oh,
Wow.
hang on.
Wow.
Mr. Dr. Professor Phoenix to you.
Alright, that's like in Germany, if you have like multiple degrees, so let's say you're a professor, but you also have an MD, PhD, they will address you as Professor Doctor Doctor, which is just the funniest shit to me.
Sorry,
Interesting. Mr. Dr. Professor. In Korea, Song's name is teacher basically, but it's also Mr. It's basically the closest to Mr. But since they add it to the end of people's names instead of the beginning, it's very common for students to say, "Hey, teacher, teacher, hello, teacher," or Zia, teacher, sometimes.
Yeah.
But I also told them that in
teacher
English
is
it's
very
Mr.
much its own fucking title.
So don't call me Zia Mr. or Mr. Zia or Mr. Meza or I forgot to tell them what to call me.
Oh,
Zia Sensei.
Damn
Well,
it.
not Sensei, but
it would
the
have to be his
Japanese has a
last
similar
name
thing.
by
okay,
by English standards.
due to
Prefer
my
Doctor.
lack of computer, I don't actually have the full art right now, but I did send it to Jacob and now I can't find it.
Oh, shit. I will scroll up very far.
Yeah, I don't
This is
know
the
why.
power of scrolling up.
I bet I'll get it
Anyways,
first. I
The
found it
demon
first.
does like talk normally. It's like, "What's up, everybody?" It's a
It's your
me.
boy.
It's
It's
your boy.
your boy.
He's actually like a lot more like friendly than like Alec is. So he's like genuinely sort of excited to meet everybody and introduce himself. Okay, have fun though.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna come
it is a-
closer and just be like, fascinating.
I think that's the art.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But yes, I think it's the same character.
Phoenix goes ahead and taps his his Kashtag pipe to his face again, and he just says, "Interesting. I've never seen something where one becomes their own patron, but that is certainly something new that you see every day, I suppose. Quite fascinating."
There's a funny story behind this whole thing. I suppose you would not want to hear it?
I mean, why not? We can hear it as we go.
Right. Well, Alec was at a mission with this dweeb over here.
So
Points
we're
at
in a
River.
party.
Oh, that. Yeah. You tell it. You're better.
There's about I suppose it's been almost a decade now. They were I was basically I don't want to talk in character, but basically he was sealed in an item in like a magical artifact because of his like punishment from hell, or sorry, from the abyss. And this item was essentially like sent, like it did a bunch of like the hell. Oh, I see. My Spotify paused because I'm talking. Anyways, he essentially was stuck in like a sentient item that had like a bunch of like that could cast a bunch of like spells and stuff. But Alec, with the help of River, figured out how to like take the sentient item and like absorb it. So instead of Sin being an item, he ended up getting absorbed into like Alec, and Alec is now sort of like the host of this demon, but he can't stay into this form for too long because of his curse. So it kind of works. He gets to have a little more power than being just like a regular item. But in the same time, like he can like take over Alec's body whenever. And Alec is not much on social interaction, so he often like lets his demon do the talking. Because he's like very like grumpy, sort of like get shit done and I don't need friends kind of guy. But his demon is like, the more the merrier. Let's hang out, guys. So yeah, it was like so they've been like sort of like homing their powers together into two separate forms.
Oh, you stupid bitch.
But it can only happen when Alex like not like on the verge of death, but like heavily injured, that his body can like take over.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, if Alec ever seems friendly, it's because it's him doing the talking.
And I'm always friendly.
Yeah.
I'd fist bump him, but I don't want to burn him.
Who?
Oh, you've got that
Both
now.
of you.
Marsha will take a look at that and be like, huh.
Hey, come here.
Fascinating.
I'll fist bump you.
So what is your name, demon, the person?
Ah, Hassan.
Hassan. Ah, well. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, I suppose. This seems like an
Welcome,
amicable
Hassan.
enough.
I am Detective Phoenix Down of Waterdeep.
He will like kind of like go up to everyone and like shake his hand to anyone that wants to. And Zashi, don't worry, he's like resistant to fire. He's a demon.
Yeah, well,
You-
you see
as
the
no
thing
resistance
about that
protects you.
is, the thing about
Don't
that
fucking
is,
matter.
You haven't tasted fire like this.
Well then,
It's
I
like-
suppose let's go ahead and make our way to the emerald, through the emerald gates and to the library itself. It's best that you guys see for exactly what we're dealing with.
Okay, he's gonna like transference back the, like take out the sword, the spirit sword, and go back to being Alec. And if you're wondering, that does fucking hurt.
Sounds like you could have come up with a more less unconventional way of doing it, but I suppose jamming one sword into one's body would be extremely painful.
It's sort of a spell that temporarily represses my health.
A lucky
It's-
chestnut. No.
Yeah, the lucky chestnut seems like it's just kind of it looks like it's observing the sword, and especially how sharp it is.
whoa.
It's not like a real sword. It's more like you can see a sword, it's just like spectral and doesn't actually exist.
Even though the lucky chestnut doesn't really do anything, well, it says the chestnut is trying to tell you that it has a beautiful sheen of colors to it. Although, it doesn't seem that we're able to see it. Perhaps it's outside of our visual range.
Can Phoenix see the colors?
Phoenix cannot.
Wow, interesting.
It may
Oh,
be related to
something
flame magic,
Phoenix
sir.
can't see. Crazy.
I need to once again improve my own sight.
I'm
take
not.
this as a
I'm not sure it
personal
would be of
offense.
much use unless you were interested in carpentry.
Possibly. Well, let's go.
Emerald Gates, you said? And what lies beyond it?
Yes, you
Can't
may
wait to
follow
see.
me.
Oh, can't wait to see.
Yes. Things.
Claire, stop fucking barking. So,
You arrive out of Candlekeep. You get ready and raring to go for the next day. It appears that Quill is still there at the entrance of the door, and actually, as they wave to you warmly as you approach.
Warmly, I get it.
Hello, Quill. Once again, it's a pleasure to see you. Make your acquaintance.
It's good to see all of you as well. It's been a while since I've been able to relieve myself of duties for the last few days. I've been kept
He's
busy,
beauty.
but I apologize on being so forward and prudent. I actually had a request to make of you, since I know that you've been enthusiastic readers recently.
Who's this?
Negin senador. Значи бях
This
предполагал.
would be
Буше глупа,
Mr.
да.
Master Quill, the owner of this.
Ah. The genius behind all this? More than a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Ah, I believe this is our first interaction as well. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. I believe, Sir River, you said?
Just River. But yes.
Yes, well,
Why
I hope you found the amenities over at our facility to be amenable. We try to keep things at the highest state, especially as we've recently had a number of people who have been visiting and interested in migrating over to here. I think soon enough we'll have to classify this place as a town.
Yes, your amenities were more than amenable. There are no amendments I can recommend.
Ah,
You mean a
well,
man?
if you do, if there are any amendments to mention, then we will amend it.
We can amend it when the time comes.
I like this person. I'm glad that you found your home here. Well, do you plan on staying for the foreseeable future, or is this a temporary venture?
Well, who knows what the future brings? Fate has all kinds of strange plans for us all.
Well, you'll find an easy internment here, if that's what you so desire. Candlekeep has plenty of room and facilities for permanent ventures as well, not just of the temporary variety. But I think that once you find yourself engrossed by the books and literature, you won't want to part with it soon again.
Perhaps you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle
And-
such gross engrossment.
And you as well, as a point over to you, Alec. I believe this is our first time meeting as well. I never quite forget a face.
Yeah. Just got here. He's not interested in small talk.
Very well. I'm glad to see that you've arrived here as well, then. I apologize, but I do have more things to accomplish. I'm just here to take over for our previous doorkeeper. The master of the door is out on leave, you might say, and so I am in their place for the meantime, as I will escort you into the door, by which I mean I wave my hand to encourage you to go inside in a moment. And honestly, it's more of a formal position, but it's nice and peaceful. It gives me plenty of time to read.
Well, we have more reading to do. It was good to see you, but I shall be taking my leave.
Oh, I apologize, but I did still need a request out of you before you venture in.
What maybe
I
that?
believe, according to the catalog, there's been three predominant books you have been interested in venturing into recently. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I have placed within the Legion of Iron, the one that I believe that you had last gone into. Are you planning to read more into that, or should I? Oh, I believe I may have presumed a little too early.
You would be correct in that assumption.
I'm glad to see that my predictive tendencies haven't bitten me in the butt, so to say. Inside of there, I've left a simple object. Really, just nothing too out of the ordinary. It's but a... What was it exactly? Placed a couple of different ones across the place. It was a pink teddy bear. I believe it was there. Yes. It was a pink teddy bear I placed into there. I would like you to simply retrieve it if you could. And tell me about if you find it, to locate it, and retrieve it if you manage to. And if not, it's no big.
Can Phoenix
impediment.
get a read off of him on the empathic when he brings up the pink teddy bear?
I
I don't know if I have to make it.
The empathic just kind of works, right?
It works based on my insight versus their deception.
You having been around Quill long enough, you are certain this man has no deceptive bone in their body.
Oh, okay.
And with that knowledge, the empathic, what it reveals, is very much something along the lines of an experimental curiosity.
Curiosity. Okay. Well, if we do encounter this pink teddy bear, we shall endeavor to bring it back to you. However, I normally do charge for my services to find something.
Not to make too much of a fine point on it, but I do provide the room and board for everything.
Fair enough. Though I do pay for my own room.
Well, fantastic. Should you
He wants
find
to have
it,
the cake and eat it too.
I mean, cake is delicious.
Should you manage to locate it, simply let me know as soon as you exit the book and attempt to bring it with you. that's it. Nothing too grand.
Okay. Well, I'll be sure to thoroughly investigate the book for it.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your assistance in the matter, and I shall leave all of you to it. Nobody is to be kept from their literature for too long. That's you get angsty.
Phoenix proceeds to step through the gate.
If everyone's following.
If
suit,
there's
then
no
I
other
will do that
objection,
as
then they'll
well.
just
Yeah.
they just kind of wave you in.
And here you have it, the absolute vastness that is this library. Before Phoenix is going to introduce them, he's going to quickly speak legalese to Ash, Zashi, and Maishra, and Malarka. Which one of you, whichever you guys actually learn legalese.
Yep.
If they want him to introduce Alec and River to Miriam.
Well,
I mean, if y'all think it's necessary, might as well.
Well, if they're going to accompany us, they're going to be basically fighting on with the assumption that they're going to assist us in the takedown of Quill.
since we're in the library, I would
Do I-
I would say back is essentially that.
That quill
Is
guy
that
seems
also-
amazing.
If we're in the library, do I now get to remember Tony?
No, you have not yet remembered her name.
Darn.
I do think that we should come clean with them about Miriam and everything else. If Alec is looking to rescue Tony, part of that will likely mean taking down Quill.
I agree. That's why I feel as though it's pertinent that they be fully involved and know exactly what is at stake here.
One more thing. If I recall correctly, one person was assigned to keep Miriam in the loop about everything that was happening. Was that Jacob, like Lumpy? As in,
I don't recall that.
yeah.
I believe it was Phoenix.
Okay.
That would make the most sense.
I vaguely recalled that was established that somebody would report in, like, occasionally.
Yeah, Phoenix is keeping track of it. He's also keeping a large portion of the money, specifically so that if she should ever perish, his money gets back to Miriam's hoard.
Mhm.
So the money is basically he's holding it to pay back Miriam for everything that they're borrowing.
So you're
So-
a bank.
Yep, exactly. So in the meantime, Phoenix is like gonna turn to Alec and River after he's done talking legalese. He just says, "I have one more person in our group that you should probably speak to. They're probably the most important member." And he looks to you, Alec, and especially to you. You're definitely gonna want to speak to him in regards to your sister.
Name
Follow
the
me.
person. I follow you.
Phoenix will lead them to the through the wiggy zaggly directions that is this library to eventually getting to what are you called it? There's something wrong.
The
Unpublished realm?
Yeah,
The
there we go.
unpublished realm, yes.
Yes, heading over there. It's actually a nice and peaceful walk. To Alec and River, it's a bit disorientating, but to all of you, having traversed this path a couple of times, it is like walking down a hallway. I'm sure Phoenix can appreciate the law and order by which the rules here seem to follow a very consistent, like connection, even if the nature of that connection is kind of weird.
Yeah. He appreciates that it follows its own continuity. On order, as you say.
The Law and Order soundtrack plays in Phoenix's head.
Phoenix will approach the direction that he perceives Miriam to be in.
All right, you have a ethereal sight now too, right? And you were saying, Michael?
Yeah, he has true sight at 120 feet with the gem of seeing.
Nice.
Whoa.
Mitchell, what were you going to say?
Oh, Maestro was gonna be like, hey, do we want to do a hero's feast before we head in and everything?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
Um,
I'll go ahead and
Probably will
pop
take
that
care
so
of that
everyone
maybe
can
after the
do that
Miriam
forward.
interaction, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we're including Miriam. Special guest for this feast.
Special guest.
That's better than eating in front of Miriam and not letting them know.
That's true.
Ooh, this is so good.
Does Miriam make an appearance?
Yes. As you arrive over, you see them meld in at the 120-foot range of your vision, entering within sights like a variety of green wisps.
Oh my god, hi dragon. Just kidding.
Hello,
I like
Miriam.
that.
It is once again good to see you. I hope you've been well.
Not much changes during the nature of imprisonment. You have two new.
Yes, I suppose you were
One
watching
is
from the
movie.
previous story. This one is the sibling of one of those that we have just lost, and this is their colleague.
Roommate.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
I'm kidding.
So you are seeking out your parent spawn, then?
Certainly one way to put it. Who's this?
This is Miriam. They are the actual owner of this library.
Curious.
Owner does not justify this magnitude that which this library belongs to me. It is my
So-
hoard. I am entitled to it, and I provide you permission to enter into the books.
If you're the owner, then who the hell is that guy?
Immediately, you can sense the little wisps of anger, like exiting out of their mouth, like smoky, ethereal steam.
Okay, chill. What's going on?
I'm guessing with the empathic, Phoenix could tell that he was angry. Even without
I don't
that,
think you
probably.
needed empathic to tell that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The easiest way to make them angry is just to mention Quill.
They're so angry that their breath fogged up inside of my aura.
Well, coming to introduce you to the newest two party members so that they are made aware of your presence and our ultimate goal of taking down Will.
It is somewhat demotivating to see that you have lost two of the companions that were entrusted to aid you in this task.
That is true, yes. It's unfortunate, but we still have to continue. We have to press on. As long as we have their memories within us, they can. We still know what we must do.
Okay, I would like to consider my sister temporarily misplaced. And I'll do anything to bring her back.
Then our goals aligned. For in order to retrieve them from my hoard, you will need to eliminate Quill. Not only in order to ensure that our agreement is intact, but also for it is the power that maintains much of the library. Time is fortunately on our side. I have been watching battery that powers Candlekeep. And currently it is only growing slightly brighter, meaning that Quill's machinations are not at their fullest speed yet. But do not dawdle.
This battery, is there a way for us to gain access to it?
Give me a
What-
moment. Just checking something.
And another question. What's with the like what is your enemy's biggest defensive system?
First over to you, River. They respond, I know the path to the battery from here in the unpublished realm over to there, but I will not tell you. It is certain that it is safeguarded in multiple different ways. To interfere would give away our betrayal too early. We must wait for the right moment. After all, and that's when they kind of talk to you, Alec. It is their defensive power that we have no response to right now. The ability to shape reality to their own desires.
They can literally do anything?
Not anything. Their ability, as we have seen demonstrated, from their history, from their current actions, are all manifested based only on what they desire. But what one wants to happen is not always what one desires to happen necessarily. It requires motivation.
Concentration?
Perhaps. I do recall. They float over, like, settling onto this pillar over here, kind of sitting on it. It's probably the most comfortable is a strong word, but they're not. What's a good word to describe it?
They're not super wary of us. It's like when somebody relaxes on their chair.
Yes, that's probably the closest equivalent. We have demonstrated before, from what we have seen, the limits of their capability. There is certainly more than one, but at the very least, they must sincerely want something in order to manifest it. In previous iterations, they were unable to make things transpire that they did not sincerely want. Merely a request from another person was not enough. Although I believe my horde has treasures that will empower you to fight against this, we will need a plan ultimately to circumvent it in some way.
Sin is going to talk. He's gonna say, theoretically, if you hit Quill really hard in the head, do you think that it will revert all of the willpower that he's been bringing upon this place?
I find it incredibly unlikely.
Ah,
The manifestation.
So it's a permanent manifestation, rather than like only alive as long as his like will to keep it alive is, basically.
That is my hypothesis. Particularly due to the nature, the reality. The ability to shape reality is granted to them by the beholder that's manifested. Thus, it is almost certainly that it will stay present so long as they remain.
So how would you revert all of his doing?
Miram looks at you with like unflinching eyes, as if to send the message that they believe you understand. Kill him.
I see. Well, that's what he was asking. He was basically saying, like, is it like a permanent effect, or will him dying sort of like revert it? Or at least, does it give the power for someone else to be in charge of the area, or does it like disappear? Like all of the things that he's, I guess, wished for, willed.
Even if we were wrong, and it does not actually incur the destabilization we expect, ultimately, anything will be better than that vile man being in charge, and I can secure my freedom in some other way. Their magic will fade, even if they perhaps don't immediately. And when it destabilizes and I find a way out of here, I will make my presence known once again and eject all of those from intruding into my horde any longer.
Yes,
mean, like-
as long as you continue our agreement, and that as soon as this is all done and we have defeated Quill, you eject all the interlopers from your horde, and then we can all consider this case solved.
Amendable.
But is it because you don't want to share what's in the library?
Would you allow a
is
stranger
for-
to enter in your house without invitation? And I invite none.
Well, not without invitation, but I suppose if they ask nicely.
What
My
dragon
pants
have
will
you ever
always
known to
remain the
share?
It's best
I-
that you try not to change his mind on this particular subject.
I'm not trying to change his mind, I'm trying to understand.
What is
He
there
was
to
like-
understand? These are my possessions. I do not wish people to touch my possessions. It's mine.
Yes, and we are truly sorry. Well, I am truly sorry that we have to invade your personal belongings, but it's our best chance at defeating Quill. And I'm as our
is.
previous agreement is, we'll only touch as necessary, and we'll return everything that we have taken from your horde back to you when this is all over. I have, as Phoenix pulls out like the huge wad of money, it's like, I am making sure to keep tabs of the amount that I owe you.
Excellent.
Loving these strokes
Good
have
to
my
see
hints of
you
inferno.
maintain that focus on maintaining all agreement.
Well, Phoenix, I guess you could tell, but Alec is like super not down for like shutting down the library. Like he doesn't particularly like either of these people.
Yeah, like he can feel from the empathic that you don't quite agree with this.
Yeah. It's like because he spent so much time with the river, his like stance on knowledge is meant to be shared. You know? But
I'm actually curious. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm actually curious also what Rivers' and response is to this new information they've just gotten.
yeah.
More conflicted than I expected that I was making this character.
Like, holy crap, I forgot about this.
Yeah, I did forget about this part.
Because all this magical shizwa seems very pog, and I kind of want to encourage it.
Right, like what's so bad about Quill anyway? Why are we helping
Right.
this asshole?
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of not sure why I would align with the dragon yet.
Because it was the dragon's home, and well, basically broke in and took everything. And said,
Imprisoned
it's
him
mine
and
now.
basically
Yes,
forced
and-
him to use his power.
Also,
Yeah, you know
let me
what?
put
I
it.
mean, hoarded knowledge is knowledge wasted.
Let me put it this way, perhaps, in terms of knowledge. Candlekeep, you would think, should be freely perused, as is Quill's responsibility for all of the books and knowledge in here. Yet, his plan and what it creates within these demi-planes, and as Tony is trapped in and others, instead inhibits the collection of further knowledge, as every single person he intends to ultimately be confined within their own
Okay.
demiplane, separate
Hang
from
on
the
a second.
material plane.
Ash, are we talking like in character in front of the dragon right now, or out of character? Because I don't.
I mean, this would be explanation. This would be stuff that we've explained to you prior to
Okay.
meeting Miriam.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I don't want to push the dragon's buttons, so I wouldn't disagree out loud. But it is a fair point. Like, I don't think that either of our characters align with either of the leaders.
I mean, Alec has
Necessarily.
reason to take down Quill because that's the only way to save Tony.
Yes.
That's like if you're here to save her and you're faltering on that, then
No. Hold on. Let me explain. I'm not faltering on it necessarily. I'm just saying, like, let's say I do want to defeat Quill. It's just that I don't necessarily agree that we should let the dragon be in charge after this is over. That's what I meant, mainly.
I mean, Phoenix is not here to steal, and this is his property, so he's not gonna go ahead and steal from Miriam.
Yeah, but like, you can
And
buy a gun, and if you use it to shoot someone, then you're still an asshole, and you're breaking the law. So
Yeah,
you
but
know,
that would mean that anybody who attempts to try stealing from Miriam's library is also considered a thief.
but also, if where do you think Miriam got all this treasure? Is it perhaps not stolen in the first place?
That's making an assumption. I don't know.
Pretty racist.
Yeah, but I'm just like
You know
trying
what
to.
they say about assuming.
Technically, Miriam, the only thing Miriam has stolen is the people inside the book. But that's not even something he really wants in the first place. Which Phoenix has already convinced them that they're basically not part of his horde. He actually wants them expunged now.
Alright, I think that this is a moral thing we're gonna have to deal with.
Probably later. Yeah.
Yes, but your empathic sense can probably tell that Alec and River are not into this guy.
Your empathic sense quite strongly tells you that
River,
based on his
especially.
first impression between Quill and the dragon, he does lean more Quill. But that being said, he's only had the one interaction, so.
Well, now that we have Phoenix keeps it in mind as he turns to Miriam. Now that we've discussed the people that will be following our party thus for now until the goal of removing Quill is finished, we shall continue our investigation through your library, and I will continue with my reporting afterwards.
Very well. Before venturing further, it is wise to consider what mechanisms might be able to bypass reality-shaping belief rooted on one's personal convictions. I have had a long time to think as well. It is difficult for me, however, to consider ways to circumvent it. But
I'm
there must
sure
be
I can
something.
probably come up with something, but I'll have to take my investigation further. By any chances, the library itself offers any absolute magnitude of knowledge. Are there any places that we can maybe consider looking to maybe garner such information?
There has been nothing like this in all of time. This convergence of a bard's power, of a horror's reality shaping. This combination like this has never once occurred, and fueled further by those misguided harpers.
What about
thinking that they had-
Dragon, what do you know about the pink teddy bear?
Miram.
Right. You are a dragon, are you not?
I've
Names
fully
are
been.
important. Use them.
What do you know about a pink teddy bear?
They kind of snort. It's one of Quill's mechanisms for being able to test whether or not their capturing mechanism here will work. If their ultimate ploy is to ensure that the books will mass incarcerate all of the individuals here at Candlekeep and all those tagged with the paper skin, then this is almost certainly just another mechanism for them to test the efficacy of whether or not their mechanism is succeeding.
Do you think that we should look for it?
I do not know. If you are to bring it out, you will provide them knowledge that furthers their goals. But to be deceptive about it may also backfire in some capacity.
I think it'd be difficult to try showing our hand too early. I suppose for now we maybe align with his tests. At least so that maybe they're less skeptical about us and our end goal agenda.
You have one question, Miriam. You mentioned just briefly before, but did not finish your thought about the Hoppers. We know that Quill was a member of them before, but what's your comments that you were making about them in regards to all of this?
I do not resent them, much as I resent most of you. You can tell that they're using collectively you, not just like you, but like you as like humanity.
Okay.
So he does not
But-
resent them?
But they have their goals in life. They had always been very respectful of my time for their organization. Was around even when I was alive. And thus, I have positive associations. But their goal here to try and protect one of their own, well, I found amenable. I do not find the results to have been agreeable. For here we are now, because they attempted to bring back one of their own.
Actually,
Such
that may...
unintended consequences.
I was going to say, perhaps in our next extended rest, we should try to
investigate
contact
the Harpers.
and... Yep, exactly.
Actually, yeah, Felix is like, the next time I leave this library, I'll go personally and investigate to see what I can find and scrounge up any information in regards to the Harpers. Though, any leads you can provide me at that time will be greatly appreciated.
Wait, this is
As
like
if I have any leads to give to you. All information I know of them are likely hundreds of years old.
Any information can lead to the next. Hundreds years elite is nothing but information that from the thousands and then from the tens of thousands. Every passage of time references the future. Can be referenced and later be referenced from the future at a later date. Even if the document is over 100 years old, it is still valuable.
Couldn't agree more. Any thread is but a piece of the tapestry.
They kind of just just give a little snort with no retort to that.
Then I suppose we'll go ahead and have our heroes feast. Did you wish to partake? He looks towards Muriel.
Wants to be polite.
No.
And
Like
he's
it.
gone.
Technically, with the true seeing, does Phoenix just see him just fly away? Just turn invisible and
Yeah.
fly away.
Got
I
it.
take that
Cool.
as a no. Got it. Well, Phoenix turns to Alec and River. Now you know who who are with. Do you
Both
still
of
wish
those
to
guys
accompany
are
us?
assholes.
Dealing with assholes one way or another, we just... This one hasn't been an asshole directly to us. Whereas the
What
other
did
one...
my sister say about it?
If I recall, Tony's reaction to
you actually-
Miriam was actually quite positive.
Actually, one thing you notice, Alec, is that when you're saying my sister, you actually say Tony instead. The name rolls off the tongue like it's always been there.
Really? Oh shit.
Knowing how that important is to you, I crack a smile at that.
Ah, Tony. That brat. I'm glad I remember her.
Well, maybe consider it a blessing from the dragon approving of you for now, I suppose.
That's good.
Now, Maestro, I suppose we greatly appreciate that feast that you were preparing.
So, go ahead and click where it says the 2-die-10 and voila! Hey!
You didn't put the +1, so it's technically 17 there for me. Wow, everyone's rolling really good.
Well,
Maestro, you're like so close to max.
Yeah, just 3 off.
Just 3 off.
9 and 8. -1 and -2, so that's 3.
wow.
You have a nice talk over the next hour, basically catching up River and Alec some more, with Alec likely giving you occasional fun stories about Tony.
Now that they can remember.
Yeah. It's like all of those memories came flooding back at once after you had this discussion with Miriam, or maybe not all at once. You didn't even realize that they had returned, but they are all back. Tony is real to you once more.
He seems to be in a better mood than usual. My brother sent me here. He and Tony, apparently, they've been keeping in touch. I was gone on a mission for a while, and as soon as I returned, he said that she was missing, and I made it my next mission to come here. Apparently, she didn't respond to a sending stone, and she always responds to her sending stone.
It's a bit unfortunate to hear, but now that you know her whereabouts and who you must deal with, I would hope that now with that knowledge that you'll be able to help us deal with this threat.
You have Sin and I will do our best.
Eventually, the feast is consumed, and you return back to the Great Library, ready to enter into the Legion of Iron Chapter 3. Sorry, I believe it is Legion of Iron Chapter 3. A lot has changed since the last time you were here.
Oh boy.
As you opened the book, and the lights go dark once more. That's where we can end off the session of this time travel story. This is always a time travel campaign from the beginning. I had to hide that for so long. You could not believe how long I was hiding that information.
Time
Months. It's essentially what it is, isn't it? You're basically going back in time over and over.
That's true.
Trying different things, seeing how well we can do.
I mean, I guess we're about to find out because, like, last time I recall, Chapter 3, we started on the underground layer, which is inside of Whitestone, which we're technically not allowed back in Whitestone. So, where's it gonna jump us off?
That is the question.
We also did ruin the preparations that Agent Death had, and we slaughtered all the T-posing the demons. That's the one that Ash wasn't there, right?
I missed that.
Yeah, so we went down to the underground layer, and the demons were there, but they were basically like in T-pose mode, and they weren't doing anything, and we killed them.
If Phoenix has one possible speculation, there, you know that your book selves enter some kind of autonomous mode of just doing their own things after, you're no longer in control of them. So perhaps that provides some intel of what they might have done.
It's a good point. Last time at the end of chapter 2, we got teleported back to Whitestone via a teleportation from what's his face? Titus. And that's where chapter 2 ended. Then chapter 2 ended us this time with us just locating the portal and after our boss rush. So where would our autonomous bodies go next is an entirely separate question, because I don't know where would we go next.
It might reset the factory mode and just walk back to Whitestone.
Might T-pose and come back.
Not the factory
Factory mode.
mode. For Whitestone.
Or Whitestone. Oh my goodness,
Rose,
God.
I know we. No, Rose, I know I said we'd work on your character. I'm going to sleep, so we're not doing that today. Sorry.
You're going to
Right.
sleep. Like, I'm going to sleep. So fucking
I
1
apologize,
a.m.
but 3 hours is an